Does the government want to hire veterans? Yes. Will being a veteran guarantee you a government job? No. Let's look at these advantages and then look at some job searching strategies to help you get a government job. If you are a veteran with 3 years of service and an honorable or a general discharge, you automatically are qualified for VEOA. And this is huge because this is what allows you to compete for jobs that the general public cannot. There are jobs that are only open to current federal government employees. And you, as a veteran using VEOA, you are able to apply and compete with all of them. So this takes it from just 10,000 jobs being available on USA Jobs to up to 20, 25, 30,000 jobs are now available for you to compete for. The next is Veteran Recruitment Appointment, which is VRA. If you're a veteran with a campaign badge, or if you're a disabled veteran that served in a time of war or separated in the last 3 years with an honorable discharge, this one's for you. This is a non-competitive hiring authority, but you still have to be qualified for the job. You can't apply for an attorney position and you don't have a law degree. That's not going to work out for you. Under VRA, you can be appointed all the way up to GS-11. Once you have the job, you're going to have to do 2 years because you'll be brought in under the accepted service. And every non-competitive hiring authority puts their people under the accepted service. After 2 years, it converts to competitive service. Also, if you have a SF-15 or a VA disability letter, you want to make sure you're attaching that too. Next is 30% or more disabled veteran. If you retired from the military with a rating of 30% or more, this allows agencies to appoint you non-competitively to a position. Okay, so all of those were special hiring authorities. Now we're actually going to talk about veterans preference. And this is what's going to give you preference over other applicants. But once again, this does not guarantee you to a job at all. And once you're actually inside the government working, this veterans preference is not going to be applicable for internal promotions or transfers or any type of actions like that. There are 3 types of veteran preference. It's 0 point, 5 points, and 10 points. Let's get into them. 0 point preference is usually for a sole survivor, meaning that you were discharged from the military after 2008 because someone in your family lost their life, was captured, or is 100% disabled, and you were the last surviving child. This one's not really so much common, but people are still applying with it. Next is 5 point preference. If you were in the military between September 11th, 2001 and 2010, you are eligible for these 5 points. If you earned a campaign badge or a medal, then you are eligible. Right now, deployments in the military are kind of scaled back from when I was in. People were going to Kosovo, Bosnia, Iraq. They were going all over the place. But as long as you spent 6 months during this time, you're eligible for the 5 point preference. And this is pretty huge for people that are not disabled. There are veterans that come out of the military and they're not disabled. They can still take advantage of this preference. If you are disabled, then the next category is for you. The 10-point preference is pretty simple. If you have a disability rating or if you have a Purple Heart, then you are eligible. Now, this is where it gets kind of confusing for some vets because they're under the impression that you need 30% to get 10 points. That's not true. You can have 20%, you can have 10%, you can have less than 10%, and if you are a disabled veteran, you still receive 10 points. Check this out. This breaks down the 10-point categories. You'll see CPS, CP, and XP. They all get 10 points. Now, when determining who's getting referred for what job position, the acronyms are going to matter, the categories matter. The CPS and the CP, they will float to the top. And if the agency is using a numeric rating system, that scale usually goes up to 100. So if a non-vet can only get up to 100 points. But if you have a +5 or +10 because you're a veteran, you can see that going to 105 or 110 points. Okay, so now let's talk about some job strategies you need to implement to increase your probability of getting a government job. First thing, if you're a veteran, you're getting out of the military, or you're already out of the military, you need to go to FedsHireVets.gov. You need to go there because if you click under agency directory, you can look down and you can contact individuals in agencies and you can send them your information. And when I say information, I mean your DD-214, your SF-15, your VA disability letter, and your resume. They can oftentimes place you in positions that are not even publicly available on USAJobs.gov, so it is beneficial to do that. Another thing that you should be doing is looking on USAJobs.gov in the hiring fairs. You can access it on the front page. Look through there. Sometimes they have veteran-specific events. and you're able to register virtually anywhere in the country. You can attend these events, you can talk to HR managers, you can talk to sometimes hiring managers. And then another thing you can do is go to Google, search the agency that you're interested in, and see if they have hiring events that are not even listed on USAJobs.gov. So I would do those 3 things. After that, make sure that you have a strong job filter that has veterans selected, that has any other hiring path that you possess, have that selected and search using that. All right, so if you made it this far into the video, you're a veteran. I'm a veteran. I did 20 years in the Army. And listen, one thing I want to tell you right now is nobody's lining up to hire veterans. I mean, you might hear that in commercials and you might hear that with people publicly speaking, but the reality of the situation is still hard out here to get a job, no matter if you're a veteran or if you're not a veteran. Now, if you are an NCO or a commissioned officer, there's a few job series in the government I think you're qualified for. The first one is 1700 job series, and this is because you've trained people, especially for the NCOs out there. You've trained soldiers, you've trained Marines and sailors on how to do specific tasks. And 1700 is all about training, curriculum development, and instruction. So another one that you're probably qualified for is the 0300 job series, because a lot of the admin work you do for the military, that transfers over. Those skills in Excel and Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, all that stuff transfers over. And then there's the 0340 series, which is project and program management, which you've probably done a lot as a leader in the military as well. If you need personal help with the process, check out the course link below, check out the templates below, all that stuff I created in order to assist individuals like yourself in order to get a federal government job. Now, you also have to realize that people in the government, there's only 25% that are veterans. So 75% of the government, they're not veterans. And that means they don't know what an E5 is. They don't know what an O3 is. So you're really going to have to watch how your military jargon is coming across. You really shouldn't have it. It should be translated. It should be more civilian friendly so that when people are reading it, they know exactly what you did and they can give you the appropriate credit for what you did. Now, if you are like me, when I was getting out, you probably have a lot of questions when it comes to federal hiring process, the government, how all that stuff works. I did a recent live stream where I answer over a dozen questions. If you're interested in that, then I want you to watch this video next. If you would like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.